Hello, my name is Fleur Vella and I've been asked to answer some questions with regards to youth concerns. So the first one is about recreational marijuana. I'm a person who's not against people who grow their own plants for their own consumption. However, there are practical market problems when it comes to marijuana being sold in shops, and we have to see how to overcome that. I look forward to a discussion in Malta and believe that this should remain a national competence. Second question is about federalism and if there should be a United States of Europe. I believe that if power is concentrated in the hands of a few people, the quality of decisions deteriorates. So, the EU spends a lot of time hearing everybody's concern, but I think the fact that people have the ability to give their concerns and to explain their country's position in detail actually allows for the peace that we've been enjoying for a number of years now, thanks to the European Union. Do you think that the EU should become an even closer or revert back to its roots of being a united community of sovereign states? Well, I think the closest move, the move to the single currency, was a major step towards the EU feeling the EU getting closer together, which I feel was very successful. Today, businesses and travelers do not have to think about what exchange rates they're going to use, and so this helps business prosper. The more integrated countries are between them, the less likely is that there will be political conflict, and therefore we will avoid wars. What is your view of political correctness? Do you think it serves as a constraint to free speech, or does it protect minorities against discrimination? Well, I always speak to give a voice to people I meet who tell me their concerns. Of course, respect for minorities and each other should always be maintained in all we say. No one should be belittled, humiliated, or badly labeled. This applies to all social interactions in life. Why European politics, not local? Well, I am interested in both. In fact, in the 2017, I have taken part in the 2017 election. With no Brexit possibility, what should the EU stand with regards to the UK? I think the closest relationship possible, both economically and politically is essential. As one may come to realize, the country has been faced by the issue of increasing rental prices while wages salaries remain unaltered. Will the issue, if you are elected, be voiced? Are you willing to push for EU to regulate rental prices? Well, the EU's competence rests with seeing that there is a fully functioning market forces. Now, I don't think that anybody would like the EU to come and tell him, look, you should charge this rented price or that rented price for your property. It is not EU competence. Reality is that rental prices are a result of demand and supply. Now, the country is increasing supply because we are in fact building, and there are a lot of complaints about it because of the nuisance that the building industry is. On the demand side, yes, you have individuals, high income earning individuals who are coming here and are putting pressure of increased prices because they afford to pay them. My suggestion to youths is, get those jobs. There are opportunities out there. Get jobs which pay high wages so that you can afford the standard of living that you desire. Reality is that the government is helping through schemes for people to afford rents, but my opinion is go for it. Take the opportunities that there are around you and invest in yourself so that you would be able to pay the kind of rent that you desire for the standard of living that you desire. The next question: what is your view on the new copyright laws found in Article 13? Well, I think protecting the rights of creatives is essential so that, the EU continues to prosper, because you need creative ideas which give increased well-being, because it's creative ideas which create the highest value-added ideas which create the highest standard of living. I think that, the wording of this article you mentioned needs additional negotiation for an optimal solution which satisfies all parties to be found. How do you intend to address the worrying phenomena of global warming and climate change? I certainly won't do this on my own because this is an issue which needs to be tackled by everyone. Everybody has to give his or her part. It's basically based on very simple choices in life. So let's start. You wake up in the morning and you have to decide what breakfast you take. You can take either a packed croissant or fruits. A packed croissant, you need to see how you're going to dispose of the packaging. We need to, recycle it. The fruit, the remains after eating fruits can be used to create compost, which is then used to create more fruit. So, it's really a question of choices. Then we go on the mode of transport we are using. You can choose between asking your parents to take you to wherever you need or else using public transport. The youths of today have an excellent opportunity to use public transport free of charge. So, there are all the incentives for you to adopt a lifestyle which is more environmentally friendly than what, maybe our generation used to use. I think that youths really need to take advantage of this and change their lifestyles. Climate change and taking care of the environment is all a question of respecting our environment. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able, unless we make our personal choices, we wouldn't be able to take care of our environment. The next question is about the huge overpopulation problem that is facing the world right now. I think the greatest challenge is not the overpopulation, but what is the greatest challenge is that the wealth of the world is not equally shared. And you have people living in a lot of luxuries, while you have others dying of hunger. I believe that the EU market, which does not allow goods being sold which are produced by kids or persons in inhumane conditions, is a step forward to achieving greater equity. As things stand today, there are goods being produced by slaves to be consumed by the rich. An example is minerals used in our smartphones, which are extracted by 4-year-old kids in Congo. So the next question is about legal immigration. The cause of illegal immigration is war and poverty in countries outside Europe. Most EU states colonized some of the world's poorest countries as they divided native land between their friends who exploited rich resources. It can be safely said that Europe impoverished Africa. Wars are caused by rich nations. Take Syria. ISIS was given weapons by the US. Did the US take part in shouldering the burden of Syrian refugees? No. US got rid of Gaddafi in Libya. Are they shouldering any problems associated with the situation in Libya? No. The list goes on. The truth is that countries with much greater political and economic influence than ours has caused war and poverty, and these nations are expecting us to carry the burden of their actions. I believe in an EU which does not allow wars and works to raise living standards of the poor outside the EU by, for example, only allowing products to be sold in the EU which are produced with respect to human dignity. The next question is about the far right. I think their backing is coming from desperate people who believe that such parties are their only hope. Truth is that such parties appeal to, for example, the unemployed in Italy. These politicians tell them that they lost their jobs because of immigrants. The truth is that they lost their jobs because they had no specialized training. And they could be replaced by anything from a machine to a cheaper Polish worker to a desperate immigrant who would work for peanuts. But stopping migrants will not give them back their jobs. Only adequate retraining will. Again, my appeal to youths to invest in their studies, in their academic qualification, as these are the only key to real, professional and economic freedom. The last questions, how will you approach the public transport issue in order to engage more people? Government is offering use free public transport and it's a key to greater public transport use in the future. As more youth use public transport, there will be less cars and so less traffic and greater efficiency. What is your goal as a candidate and wish to work should you be elected? My main goal is to voice the concern of people I meet every day. I wish to work towards you taking concrete measures to stop illegal migratory flows, as explained, by less people having to leave their home country to live a decent life. I'm also concerned with you creating a fairer business environment in EU countries with natural monopolies, as Malta. Thank you very much.